Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is a cannabis business podcast. Viridian Capital Advisors recently launched a webcast where Scott Greiper, the president of Viridian Capital, highlights the analysis of the key 2018 M&A activity, the top capital raises by U.S. states, IPO transactions, and they discussed investing in the cannabis space in the U.S. while it still remains federally illegal.
Become an extremely competitive market. Some might say an over-licensed, oversupplied market. It's still a large market in terms of total dollar sales of legal cannabis. And so we're still seeing investor capital come into Colorado. And even more than invested capital, we're seeing acquisitions happen in the state. So here's sort of the first look at the 2018 review of the mergers and acquisitions landscape, really reflecting as what I started off the webinar with. We are in a land grab, and the land grab is affected not only through organic growth, but more so through acquired growth. And that's what you're seeing here. So big increase in, just like the capital raise side, big increase in aggregate dollars coming in, number of deals, frequency of deals, size of deals. This market is maturing. And when I say this market, I mean the capital markets in cannabis is maturing. We're seeing more sophisticated groups coming in. We're seeing larger check writers coming in. We're seeing professional equity, venture capital coming in. And of course, you've got the big Canadian LPs that are still the dominant acquirers. So it is a rapidly evolving marketplace. As we say to our investor network, when we're bringing out clients to capitalize, if you're looking at a company to invest in, public, private, U.S., globally, the company should have the experience and a strategy for acquisition that supplements or complements the core organic growth strategy. Because growth is not being only driven by executing on your organic business model. If you don't have the capacity to scale and diversify and grow through acquisition, your growth rates are going to suffer. So we help our client companies actually develop, write, and execute M&A strategy, both on the buy and sell side. It takes management that has the experience to buy right, to target right, and to integrate these acquisitions. But this is a core part of companies' growth today, as you're seeing in these numbers. Next slide, please. Just like on the capital raise slide, top 10 sheet, you're seeing the same thing, guys. It's the Canadian LPs that are primarily the most dominant acquirers. And this is not only because of their early market advantage in being.
The top 10 merger and acquisition deals shouldn't come as any surprise, being that they're all Canadian. We're actually seeing them come back into the United States in the form of hemp. There's a $150 million acquisition from a company in Canada coming into New York, I believe, for hemp. And we're going to see a lot more of those deals come in as deals within Canada. There's not many companies, so they've already kind of expanded in their little territory. And now they're looking at opportunity as a money grab to come into the United States, which is one of the world's largest markets for CBD and THC products. So when they come in for CBD, they're actually looking at THC for that long play. Diving into Viridian Capital's Cannabis Deal Tracker, we can kind of see that some of these capital raises are pretty much all Canadian. There's a lot of mergers and acquisitions that we can see. The capital raises that we're seeing are increasing by deal size as well as dollar size. There were some dips that we saw in the fourth quarter where there weren't as many deals. However, the dollar amount for the fourth quarter of 2018 was larger than all previous 7 quarters combined. So almost 2 years worth of fundraising was surpassed in just 3 or 4 months. 1 quarter, that was it. And I think we're going to start to see more of that as deals pick up and the deal sizes increase. I'm not surprised by the international M&A activity, but I am surprised by cultivation. I think the majority of that is probably retail. There's been a lot of discussion about the race to the bottom in terms of pricing. In the black market days, we saw Philly and New York asking $7,000 to $9,000 per pound for flower. We're now seeing 8 cents per gram for flower. So I don't think a lot of the investors are looking at cultivation at all, but they are looking at retail. Specifically, the trends that we're seeing is for multi-state operators, data, and consumption lounges. Kush Marketplace is a local company in Seattle that has an online e-commerce store. They're expanding into multiple states, California, Oregon, all over the place. And it's an opportunity for businesses that are licensed to put their product online and sell within that state. So you're looking at some of the prices and things in Seattle, anything from clones to finished product. And I don't know if we'll see something for 8 cents a gram, but it's not all that difficult to find it. So the prices are very competitive. They're coming down. Right now, the most expensive product probably is a water-soluble CBD. I've heard anything from $17,000 a kilo. And so that is nowhere to go but down. Eventually, these sites will be incorporated with delivery and other options with a lot more product. Rather than just wholesale, there'll be a consumer website. So I'm excited for that. And with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge, and I'm out.